State investigators say this is part of a cheating scheme centered in Jacksonville.
America, we just uncovered the most sophisticated cheating scheme you've ever seen, and it's putting your family at deadly risk every time you drive on the highway. Non-English speaking truck drivers are using hidden cameras strapped to their chest, earpieces, and real-time communication to fraudulently pass their commercial's driver's license tests. But here's what's going to make you furious. This same cheating scheme is directly connected to the deadly Florida crash that killed 3 people last month, where a truck driver failed his English test so badly he only got 2 out of 12 questions right.
It's all tied to an issue in the news now. Just days ago, a truck driver in South Florida arrested after a crash that killed 3 people.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story proves the concerns about non-English speaking truck drivers aren't just about political correctness. They're about life and death safety on American highways. Let me break down exactly how this cheating scheme works, because this is some next level criminal sophistication happening right under our noses. These guys are walking into the DMV with red iPhones strapped to their chest, using special harnesses hidden underneath their t-shirts with small holes to show the camera lens. They've got wireless earpieces hidden in their ears and real-time video streaming capabilities that would make a spy jealous.
And you see the actual apparatus that he's wearing. He has a chest harness that actually holds the phone.
A red iPhone in the harness, and under a t-shirt, you see the hole right there? So he comes in this t-shirt with a hole cut in.
Here's how this scam works. The test taker sits down at the DMV computer wearing his hidden camera setup, while live video of test questions streams to an accomplice waiting outside the parking lot. These accomplices read the English questions and provide the correct answers, then transmit those answers through an earpiece in the test taker's native language. The person taking the test selects the right answers without understanding a single word of English.
Brian says it's kind of like FaceTime. The men sit in front of a computer and wiggle around
Their body language is abnormal.
until somebody outside in a parking lot can read the test questions on the screen in English.
5 people have been arrested so far in Jacksonville, but Florida Highway Patrol Sergeant Dylan Bryan says this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is happening all over the country. Now let me connect this cheating scheme to real-world deadly consequences. Last month in Florida, Harjinger Singh, an undocumented immigrant truck driver, made an illegal U-turn on a Florida turnpike and killed 3 people in a horrific crash. When authorities tested him after the accident, he only answered 2 out of 12 English proficiency questions correctly and could only identify 1 out of 4 highway road signs.
According to the Department of Transportation, the driver from India made an illegal turn across a median. And you can see here the crash scene behind this sign. And you can see it says, official use only, no U-turn. But could he read that?
Governor Ron DeSantis didn't slice up any words when he heard about this. They did an English test and he failed abysmally. Not even close, he says. But how ridiculous is it that somebody would get a commercial driver's license who doesn't understand the language of this country, doesn't understand road signs?
They did an English test and he failed abysmally, not even close. But how ridiculous is it that somebody would get a commercial driver's license who doesn't understand the language of this country, doesn't understand road signs?
This is exactly what happens when people cheat their way to CDL licenses. They get on our highways without the basic ability to read warning signs or communicate with emergency responders, and innocent Americans pay the price with their lives. Now let me tell you about Connor Deise, because his story shows the human cost of this problem. In 2017, Connor was a new graduate of Creekside High School when he was killed in a 26-car pileup on I-95 in Nassau County, Florida. You can hear the desperation in the 911 calls from that night. There's a car that's crushed. Oh my God.
There's a car that's crushed. Oh my God.
911 calls from 2017. I-95 near Yulee, a 26-car pileup, and inside this car, Connor Deise, a new graduate of Creekside High.
No mother should be forced to lose their baby.
The truck driver who caused this crash, Yadwinder Shah, spoke Punjabi and needed an interpreter for his disposition. Under oath, he admitted something that would terrify every American driver: I don't read English. There were warning signs starting 6 miles before the crash scene saying slow down, traffic stop ahead. At least 3 signs that this driver couldn't read because he didn't speak a lick of English.
I don't read English.
The sign said, slow down, traffic stopped ahead.
Connor's mom still wears a necklace with his fingerprint from the funeral home. 7 years later, she's fighting for Connor's law to require English proficiency for all commercial driver's license. As she says, commercial truck drivers who can't read and speak English, to take them off the road. They are killer drivers, and she's absolutely right about that. Florida Highway Patrol has launched a statewide investigation with dozens and dozens of cases, according to Sergeant Dylan Bryan. All 5 people arrested in Jacksonville for felony charges related to cheating on their CDL test require interpreters when they were arrested. One of them, Vladislav Yurishik, was found guilty on 2 felonies and sentenced to 8 months in jail. My opinion, it's not enough. Sergeant Bryan calls it organized crime fraud, and it says they're looking for the kingpin. This is a very elaborate case, he says. We're shocked to see the extent that they're going to. DMV employees started getting suspicious because one official put it, most people don't start to disrobe when they take the DL test.
They're unbuttoning their shirts.
They are, indeed.
So the 5 men arrested so far, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Think about how brazen this is. These criminals are walking into government buildings with sophisticated surveillance equipment, committing felonies in real time as they get licenses to operate 80,000-pound vehicles on highways where your family drives. President Trump has taken decisive action to address this crisis. In April 2025, he signed an executive order requiring that truck drivers who can't read and speak English must be taken off the road immediately. No more games, no more excuses, no more putting American families at risk. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy isn't playing around either. He's threatening to withhold federal funding from states who don't enforce these requirements. California could lose $33 million. Washington can lose $10.5 million. And New Mexico could lose $7 million. Duffy gave these states a simple message. You have 30 days to get in line or risk losing your money.
The Trump administration claims the driver of the semi involved in the crash did not speak English, as Rudabeh said, which is required for truckers to get their licenses. The administration says they will withhold more than $30 million in funding in California if the state does not enforce the English language requirement.
This is what real leadership looks like. No more coddling states that refuse to enforce basic safety requirements. No more putting political correctness ahead of American lives. The truck driver industry has been pushing a narrative of a driver shortage for decades to justify bringing foreign drivers who can't speak English. But Louis Pugh from the owner-operated Independent Drivers Association destroys this myth completely. There is no trucking shortage. The American Trucking Association, unfortunately, has been pushing the narrative for almost 40 years, and unfortunately, it's not true. There are 400,000 plus new CDL issued in this country every single solitary year.
It won't, because there is no trucking shortage. The American Trucking Association, unfortunately, has been pushing that narrative for almost 40 years now, and unfortunately, it isn't true.
So what are the real problems? Pugh explains, we don't have a driver shortage, we have a training shortage, we have a pay shortage, and we have a parking shortage. The industry has an over 90% turnover rate in long-haul trucking because they treat their drivers like crap.
We don't have a driver shortage. We have a training shortage, we have a pay shortage, we have a parking shortage, we have some shortages, and that's what, and unfortunately, due to those shortages, people don't stay in our industry.
The industry uses fake shortage narratives to justify bringing cheap foreign labor that can't meet basic safety standards. It's corporate greed disguised as necessity. And here's a terrifying question that should keep every American awake at night. How many truck drivers are currently on American highways who failed the same English proficiency test that Harjinger Singh failed? Louis Pugh admits we think there is a lot of them, but that's the unfortunate thing here at the OIDA. We've been trying to figure out some of the information out. The enforcement statistics are absolutely shocking.
According to the Transportation Department, California has done roughly 34,000 inspections that found at least one violation since the new rules took effect, but only one involving an English language violation resulted in the driver being taken out of service. In Washington, there were over 6,000 violations with 4 drivers pulled, and New Mexico hasn't placed any drivers out of service.
All 3 of these states are doing that.
and they're allowing people to be on the road that were taken off the road.
This means there are potentially thousands of truck drivers on our highways right now who can't read basic warning signs or communicate with emergency responders. They're driving 80,000-pound weapons while being completely unable to understand the most basic safety information. America, this trucking scandal proves that our highways have become a battlefield between safety and political correctness. We have non-English speaking drivers using sophisticated cheating schemes to fraudulently attain CDL license, then get behind a wheel of an 80,000-pound weapon they can't safely operate. The evidence is overwhelming. We've got sophisticated cheating rings using hidden cameras and earpieces, deadly crashes caused by drivers who can't read warning signs, state refusing to enforce English proficiency requirements, and an industry pushing a fake shortage narrative to justify these dangerous practices. Connor Deise's mother said it best: these big trucks kill people. They're killers when they get in these crashes. You and I get in our Hyundai, get killed, they walk away. The Trump administration is finally taking action to address this crisis. Every time you see a big truck on the highway, ask yourself, can that driver read English warning signs? Can they communicate with emergency responders? Can they understand basic traffic laws? Until we enforce English proficiency requirements and crack down on these cheating schemes, American families will continue to pay the ultimate price for the trucking industry's greed and political refusal to enforce basic safety standards. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.